Yeah, so we had a discussion on the runtime data storage part, which is internal table and work area. And we saw how we are going to create internal tables and work area, correct? So for that part, we discussed a very interesting concept called structure. So what is structure? Structure is a collection of fields or columns, and it is just a logical representation of a table. So you can simply call it a structure is a logical representation of the table. It is a logical representation of the table. This is a complex data type. Yeah, it's not an elementary data type. It is a complex data type. We have seen the types of data type, if you recall here, loop, yeah, data types, elementary, complex. See this structure and table type, correct? That the same thing is coming into picture now. So structure is a complex data type, and we can use structure for creation of internal table and work area, right? So the same thing we are going to do now. Creation of structure. Let's write it here. Creation of structures. So what I can say, if we see this, structure can be global and local. Vaishnavi, what do you understand about global and local?
Local, I think we can only use within that program.
Great.
In globalist, we can use anywhere.
Yes. Let me come to that. Global structures are defined from S11, and they are reusable in nature. That is, we can use them in programs, tables, function modules, class methods, etc. Yeah, that is why they are global in nature. Local structures are defined within the scope of a program. Local structures are defined within the scope of a program, and they are not reusable. They can be used only in that program. Okay, so let's start it. We know how to create a table. So I am going to create a structure for my employee table. See this data type. Z structure, I will name it employee, and I will go and create it. Create, it's already there. So let's give a different name. Create. I will select a structure. Okay. Structure for employee. Yeah. Now I will go back to SE11 and I will check my table. What are the columns I want inside this structure? Suppose I want these four columns. These four columns: department and manager, employee ID, department name, department manager. Four columns I want. So similarly, I will write it here. These four columns. See this employee ID. I will copy the name of it. I will paste it here. Data element. Component will be the column name, and component type will be data element. Yeah, you can also directly go for built-in type if you want. See here, this option has been enabled, and if you remove this also, see all these sections are enabled. You can directly pass the built-in type also, which is already there, like character itself. But instead I want to go for data element. Data element is always a better operate. So either employee name, data element here, employee name, data element, department column, and its data element, copy, paste it here, manager column, and its data element. Okay, let's save it. Pass the package, and I will activate this. So we created a structure. This is our structure. Now using this structure, let's create internal table and work area. I will go to program section and Z internal table and work area. Internal table and work area. Type as executable, package and transport request. Okay. Now we know that our internal table and work area is nothing but a data object in itself. So how do we create a data object, guys? How do we create a data object? We use data keyword, yes or no? We use data keyword,
Yes.
correct? So one naming convention is preferred while creation of internal table, which is LT. You can also write IT for internal table, or if you want, you can write your name, let's say Prasanna also. It's totally up to you. But it is always better to give a meaningful name. So I am giving here LT and let's say employee type. Just see the keyword type table of my structure. This is declaration of internal table using structure. Yeah, using structure. Then I will declare the work area. So ls word is used. Ls employee type structure. So here I am passing declaration of work area using structure. Structure. My internal table, my work area is there. See this part, correct? And now if you check this, you want, you can write like this way also. Data IT for internal table, IT employee, type table of this structure, and WA is for work area, employee, type this structure. Now it's you who is going to decide how you are going to write this thing, IT or WA. For this one, this is the mainly preferred thing which I also use. Yeah, it's you who is going to give a meaningful name. So you can accordingly choose how things are going to work here. Type table of keyword will be used when we are declaring internal table, and type keyword will be used when we are declaring work area. So work area is nothing but a type of structure, and internal table is a type table of structure. Okay, type table of structure. Yeah. So let's store some values first. If you recall, we started the ABAP programming uh, way, and what I write here, how does the ABAP programming works? We are writing a web program on the application layer. We will bring the data from database layer and we will store it temporarily on the internal table. We will make the necessary changes. Then we will commit the changes back to the database. And finally, we are going to display the output to the user. This is the way our ABAP traditional programming work. So what we are going to do now, we will store some values here. Uh, After some time, we will also learn how to write queries and bring the data. Right now, I will store default value. So please understand. Let me write here one note point. Internal table operations. Internal table operations. If we will transfer the data, see, we can easily manipulate the data in the work area. So very first thing operation that you have here is append operation. Append operation. So what it is used to do, if we are using the append operation is used to transfer the records of work area, or not transfer, it is used to basically append the record of internal table from the work area. That is, let's understand it how it is going to work. So suppose I want to store some values. How many columns are there inside this structure? Everyone, how many columns are there inside this structure? How many columns are there?
4.
4 columns are there. So for these 4 columns, we will have to pass some value. Let's pass some value. Work area, employee. First column is employee ID. Suppose I'm storing some value here, 101. Then work area employee name. Suppose I'm storing some value here. Let's say Abhishek. And then department column. So LS employee. See, department, control plus space. You can put automatically all the columns SAP will suggest. You can select any one of them. Department. And here I will be passing SAP ABAP. Then LS employee. Manager. Let's say some manager name. Four columns I'm using here. Now I will append. So append LS employee to internal table. So LT employee. And clear the records. So clear the work area. I have these 4 values here. I have these 4 values. We have appended the record. How things are working, let's understand it. So I will, what I'm doing here, adding the rows in the internal table. And once data is added, we are clearing the work area so that we can also add multiple records. Similarly, I will copy it and I will have another record here, 102. Let's name something else. What should I give here? Yeah. Third one, 103. And here what we will be doing is, let's say sick was the 3 records I have added in this internal table. Any number of rows this internal table can add. Now let's see how things are happening. Let's debug our code. What I have done, I will put a debugger here at line 14. I'll put a debugger here and let's go and check it how things are working here. I will click on execute button. So desktop 3 we will go. Double click on LT employee. Please read this LT employee. What it is? At this moment it is initial, which is empty. And see this 0 cross 4. 0 cross 4 means right now the number of rows are 0 and the number of columns you can see is 4 here. 4 columns are there. So if you will double click on this internal table, you see employee ID character 3, employee name character 30, department character 40, manager character 30. Yeah, see this. Double click on work area. See its type is structure itself. It can add makes a store only one records. If you will double click, you can see here component, its value. Yeah, see right now it is empty because we don't have any record. We are stopped at line 14. See this. So step by step we will execute it. Let's check it. I will click on F6. As soon as I clicked on F6, line 14 got executed and 101 value got transferred into the employee ID column of this work area. See here 101. See 101 is there for employee ID. Correct? I will go back to desktop 3. I will do the same thing. See this part. Employee name now. One more execution, department and manager. Now let's check it. All the 4 columns have been filled. Yeah, all the 4 columns have been filled. We can say this. So now once all these 4 columns have been filled, let's see how this append operation is working. What I have written here, it is adding the rows in the internal table. Right now, check this internal table. There is no records, 0. Now let's execute line number 18 and check this. How many records are there, guys, here? How many records are there? Can you see this? How many records are there? See, it has been added in the internal table. The work area data has been transferred into the internal table. Correct? So same thing will be applied for the next record also. Let's go and check 21, 22, 23 work area we added. And once this append operation will be added now how many records are there here? Vaishnavi, 2, yeah, right? Frame,
Yeah, Miltu.
see, second record has been also added. And all these things are happening at the runtime. We are at the runtime. We have stopped it in debugging mode and we are checking the flow of program. Let's check the third one. See, now let's check this internal table 3. This one has also been executed. The third record has been added. See, third one. Yeah. So I will continue and I will come out. So what I can say, manual adding of data in the internal table. Manual adding of data in the internal table. See this. Now I want to display the data to the user. So displaying data to the user. So what I can do, I can loop here. So loop add LT employee to work area ls employee and loop. And I will go for write a statement here and I will display the value. So ls employee ID. See. So how things are working? Let me explain the things here. Do you recall this loop? Loop at internal table into work area. I said the same thing yesterday. We cannot directly display the data because we don't know any shortcut technique right now. So we cannot directly display the data of the internal table. We will see it in the future how we can also display the data from the internal table. But right now we cannot directly display the data from the internal table. So what we are doing, we are looping and bringing the data in the work area and then displaying it. And then displaying it. So loop at internal table to work area, and then I will simply display all the columns. What are these columns? LS employee name, name, department, manager, activation. There is code. Sorry, there is error here. It will be into. So one by one, what will happen now? See this. Let's go and check. I'll put a debugger here also. Execute. So desktop 3, we have total 3 records in the internal table. 3. See. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
it's audible.
Your screen is
Hmm.
not visible. You're
Wait.
not sharing.
Yeah, right now. Now is it okay?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there was any issue with the internet. Internet got disconnected suddenly. Let me reopen everything. Okay, how many of you have got this issue? How many of you have got this issue? Anyone? When you are trying to open it and you are getting this message by your name is currently editing and you are not able to open it in change mode. How to resolve this? Just answer this question.
We have to remove the lock.
Great. We'll have to remove the lock. So this will, you are going to also get the issue sometime if system is getting closed abruptly, then this it will be a problem. So the lock will not be released. So you will have to manually go to SM12 and release the lock. Now it is okay. So let's see. Let's see. Here we have debugger. I will execute the code. Desktop 3. I will check it. LT employee. LT employee. Let's see this part. So total 3 records. This loop is going to be executed 3 times because it is a loop at internal table. The number of rows are available in the internal table. Same number of time this loop is going to execute. Also, we can check the index. If you recall, there is a system variable. Let me show it again. There is a system variable. I have already written it here. See, side tab X. Here we can count how many number of time this internal table is going to execute. Side tab X. See, 3 is there. Let's check it. First iteration. First iteration. Yeah. Then it will become 2 for the second iteration. And then 3rd for the last row. And now you can check the output. Can you all see this? All the 4 columns. Can you all see this? All these 4 columns? Yes or no?
Yes, Amit.
Right? Now
Yes.
I have one question here. The question is, if you see between the first row and second row, there is only one space. But if I check the second row and third row, the first column and second column, there is only one space. But if I check the second column and this third column, can you see so many space? And again, third and fourth, so much space. Why is it like this one? Can anyone answer it? If you check the print, if you check the right statement, we have just given one comma. One comma means one space. Then why so much space we can see there?
We have allotted it the data type. Sorry, data type we have given it some length now.
Yes,
So
that is the answer for it. Great. If you check this structure, what is the length we have given for this employee name? Character 30, correct? So this character 30 is not yet to fill. If we check the name here, how long it is? 3, 4, 5, 3, 8, 9, and 5, 14. Only 14 character we have filled. So rest of the 16 characters are here. And then finally one space before the next column. So everything you need to understand technically how things are working. Then move on to the next part. Okay. Append operation. One by one, manually adding the data in the internal table. What append operation is doing? What append is doing? Let me write it here. Append operation always search the record at the last of. So that is, if you have 2 rows in the internal table, then it will add the next row, at the third position only, not at the first, at the third position only. This is how your append operation works here. You can check it. This third one is at the third position only. Even if I try to add 100 here, it will be added at the fourth position only. See this? Let's make it 100. And suppose I am giving here another name. So this has become fourth column. Let's see now. I will execute. Data will be loaded and see. The next row will only be added at the last of the internal table only. Yeah. Is it okay? Any question on append operation? Anyone? Guys, I'm saying again and again, please ask as many questions as possible.
So as you mentioned, one silly question, Amrit, like
Mhm.
as you mentioned now, it is not in the sequence. If you want to arrange it in sequence, then any filter we can apply. Like what I can
Yeah,
say.
don't worry. You right now just understand the append, okay? One by
Okay.
one, we will come to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just about append. Are you getting what it is doing?
Yes.
Lots of internal table operations are there. That one will also come. Okay. Second one, this is just the basic way of programming. We have not come to ABAP programming yet. We are just slowly going to that part. Okay. So append operation, then the next one is delete operation. Delete operation is used to delete the record of the internal table. Also, let me share this code with you. It will be really helpful for you all. You can directly copy paste and execute it on my system. It will work. I'm sharing it here. I believe you have the access of this site. You can check it from here. So delete operation is used to delete the records of the internal table. Yeah, delete the records of the internal table. There are two forms of delete operation. There are two forms of the delete operation. First one is delete based on where condition. And the second one is delete based on index. Delete based on where condition and delete based on index. So let's see this, how both of these things are working. Index means row number. Index means row number. If you have to normally understand it. How many rows are there in this internal table? Total 4. You can check it. First, second, third, and fourth. 4 rows are there. That's why we are getting 4 records here. So this is the fourth index for this row, third index for this one, second index for this one, first index for this one. That is the index of any internal table. Yeah. So let's perform the delete operation. Delete based on where condition. So what I'm writing here, delete internal table where employee ID is equal to 100. Delete internal table where employee ID is equal to 100. What it will do? Vaishnavi, what it is going to do? Please answer this question. What it is going to do?
It is going to delete that row alone.
Yes, it will delete the 100 rows. So it will be removed, activate it, execute. See, everything is being happening at the runtime. What happened here? 4 records were first added, and then we had this delete operation, so it removed 1 record here. If I make it 2, 102, so 102 will be deleted now. And only 100, 101, 103, and 100 will be printed on the output. So this is delete based on where condition. Deleting to record. Then delete based on index. So you can also do this. So delete LT employee, let's say index 1. I will comment out this line. Let's see what is going to happen. Tell me what it is going to delete. Sony,
01.
what it is going to delete.
Sorry.
Sony, what it is going to delete. Which row it is going to delete? Which row? Which row it is going to delete? Think about this.
Index starts with 0, right, Amrit? So it will delete the second
No,
one.
no. Index do not start with 0. Index start with 1. What I said, what is an index? Here, row number. Can a row number be 0?
No.
Can, definitely not. So what it is going to delete? It is going to delete first row.
First row.
Yeah, first row. Index 1, that is row 1. So first row is this one. It will be deleted, rest everything will be printed. So activate it. Let's see. Execute. 101 is no more. So you can just write it here. Let's say I'm writing index 3. So it will become row 3. Row 3 will be removed. Execute it. See, no more. Yeah. So this is nothing but your delete operation from internal table. Guys, internal table is not a table. It's a temporary storage of data. Table is a permanent storage of data. But this internal table behaves as a table at the runtime, behaves like a table at the runtime. Are you all getting it?
Yes.
Everyone, are you all
Yes, sir.
getting this? So this is your delete operation. Next thing, let's go and check the next thing. Third one, modify operation. Modify. What does modify means? Updating something. So modify is used to update a existing record. What does update mean? Suppose I want to change some column value. Column value. I want to change some column value. Yeah. So we can just, in that situation, we can use modify operation. We can use modify operation. See this part here. So I'll remove this, delete, comment it out. Let's go for modify. Modify operation. So suppose when the record is 103, I want to change the employee name, department name, and manager name. Tell me how I am going to do this. When the record is 103, the ID is 103, I want to modify the 3 columns, update the 3 columns. Anyone, they have the record in the internal table. How will I get that third record? Guys, please start making your own logic. Please try to understand. If I have to get any record of the internal table, I will have to bring it into the work area, yes or no? If I have to get the data in the get any data of the internal table, I will have to bring it into the work area, yes or no?
Yes.
Definitely yes. So the same thing we will do, right? I will go for loop at LT employee into the work area, internal table to work area here, and loop, and I will check here if LS employee ID is equal to 103, then I want to make the changes. The rest of the value I do not need. The rest of the value is not meaningful for us, so I don't need it. I just want this one. So I'm giving a if condition inside it. Other values are not necessary. Or you can also give here a where condition directly, where uh, employee ID is equal to 103. Let me check, will it work or not? Yeah, it will work also. So it's totally up to you how you want to use it. I don't want to go for this one right now. Let's go via basic way. So this loop will execute value. When the value is 103, we will modify it. So ls employee name. Let's say Abhishek Bachchan. LS employee department is some XYZ, and LS employee manager is also XYZ. Now there is one question from my side. Will this changes reflect in the output? Will this change will reflect in the output? I have written 3 lines of code here. Will it be reflected in this output? Prem and Prasanna, think about this. Will it be reflected in the output?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. What I have done, first read this statement from line 57 to 64. What I have done here. Everyone, read this and let me know what I have done here. Guys, what I have done here, I have changed the value of work area, but did I updated that value back to internal table?
No.
Please read this. Did I updated it back to internal table? If I have not updated it back to internal table, how can I expect to get that output? Here I'm looping on the internal table itself now. Work area, it just can only store at max 1 row. It is storing it, but it is not updated back to internal table. So it will not be changes. The changes will not reflect. See this 103 is still Shikhar Srivastava, SAP ABAP and Amrit Raj. That's why. What is the use of this modify operation? We have not yet used modify operation. Modify LT employee from work area. So whatever changes have been made, it will be modified. And I'll check for the error. There is no error. Pretty printer. And I will update the code. So now it will be done. See, Abhishek Bachchan, XYZ and XYZ. You want, you can check it in the debugging also. Let's put a debugger. Execute it. I will go to desktop 3 here. Let's check it, guys. LS employee, I'm double clicking. I will double click on LT employee also. Check LT employee. Check the value 103. 103 is Shikhar Srivastava. Department is SAP ABAP. Manager is Amrit Raj. But if I am going back to desktop 3, I check the work area. 103 is Shikhar Srivastava, ABAP and Amrit Raj. Let's execute this line of code now. 59. I will execute it. Now employee name has changed to Abhishek Bachchan inside the work area. Say this. Department has been changed and manager has been changed. If I go back and check the work area, see, but these changes will not reflect to internal table until and unless this operation is going to execute. Yeah, if you still check the internal table, 103 is still Shikhar Srivastava, SAP ABAP and Amrit Raj. So now this modify will execute and these changes will be saved into the internal table also. See, 103 is Abhishek Bachchan, XYZ, XYZ. That is why we are getting it in the output now. We talked about modify operation, and if modify operation we have not written, how it will be implemented? Definitely it will not be implemented now. Is it clear? Any questions here?